currently 10 to 8 in Starbucks. Got my breakfast sandwich, nice big coffee, starting the day off right for a long journey to the Lake District from Newcastle. So we'll get into that now.
Welcome back to the Lake District, everyone. Now, last time I was here hiking properly, I was fighting off sunburn. I'll not be doing any of that this time. Prepared for a bitterly cold night. We're climbing an absolute icon of the Lake District Fells, Blencathra. It's just about 12 o'clock. I've left a little village called Threkeld. We've been walking about 5 minutes in my shoes, absolutely plastered in mud, walking through sheep fields. Starting off with some nice waterfalls here, like, Jesus. Now that I'm moving a bit, the temperature's ideal. There's a bit of a wind going, but it's keeping me nice and cool. Not me getting too hot. Jacket's already off. Climb doesn't really start for a little bit, like fully. I was expecting to keep it on for a little bit, but still it's got too hot too quick. But it's perfect temperature now, just with my fleece open. It's ideal, it's nice. Got my new chest strap, getting the nice POV shots. Rather than me holding the camera, I'm liking the look of them. Mountains seem fair, not many people out on them. It's to be expected, but it's just beautiful being out completely by yourself. Obviously everything I do mainly is solo. A lot of the stuff I do solo, but when you're the real only one on the mountain during the winter, it's something special. Like, it's a weird time for January. It's been jumping up and down the temperature, so it's been like constant snow melt, so there's just like moisture to the ground that's usually would just be frozen solid, but it's doing that, overnight certain days. And then this storm we've had seems to have dragged over some warm weather, so it's not warm and the wind's cold. It's just not really freezing. Where I'm camping tonight's about 600 metres, and it's predicted to be something like, it's meant to drop to a maximum of 0. Sorry, a minimum of 0. It's the coldest it'll get, which for almost February now is an astonishingly high temperature. Freezing! Oh, beautiful water. As always, the Lake District provides, man. One thing everyone forgets, especially me, is just how much a multi-day sack can weigh you down. It's Scarfell Pike with a little 25 day bag knee bosh. Fucking hell. It's steep, this climb, it's killing me off. There's no graduality to it. You go from the car park to the bus stop and then you just bang. I think I'm about to hit a little half summit on the ridge, which should straighten me out for a little bit. The wind's starting to get colder as I climb, but like I'm sweating red hot off the climb, but I'm still too cold off the wind. It's a pain. See, just behind me here, this is the last bit of climb where I hit the top of this, and just beyond that is where I'll find Scales Tarn, tonight's camp spot. It's a bit of a ridge, and a pretty steep climb. Wind's picking up again, starting to feel it in my ears now. I might have to bring the buff out. Got a bit of water, enough to get me round to the tarn, at least. Beautiful day. It's a low sitting cloud dropping down the mountain. But it's meant to clear a little bit later in the afternoon. This cloud that's hugging the mountain is starting to crowd around me. I'm not really leaving. I'm sat going straight to it. Really, I don't know if the camera picks it up, but it's really whipping around the mountain. Really whipping. Really whipping. And you stay careful and keep myself low over that last gust that knocked me over there. It was canny powerful. I've got less than a kilometre to go. It's really just not a sight to be seen now. It's fogged over all around. Wind's not dying down. Oh, that wind chill's cold. I know I'll regret putting my insulated jacket on, so I'm just dealing with it for now. I'll put it on when I get to camp. It's supposed to be about 65 to 70 kilometers an hour, this wind. It's only meant to be about 20 overnight, and the forecast has changed for snow. And that's snow all day tomorrow as well. Started my descent from the ridge to the tarn now. It's a steep little drop. Thighs weren't expecting the sudden change from incline, but it's somewhere down there. That's all I know. Just following the route, but everything's just completely fogged over. The cloud's meant to really drop later to about 250 meters. So that should bring some clearer skies for me. Meant to get snow throughout the night and tomorrow now. It's meant to be a little bit, but it's changed to quite a bit heavier. Nothing too drastic until tomorrow afternoon though. Seen quite a few people out now. heading straight up the Blencathra up the ridge, avoiding the sharp edge on the other side of the tarn obviously, which I'll also be doing come morning. But just slowly making my way down, making sure I'm carefully sticking to the track, and then we'll get ourselves set up. It's a bit of an early one, but I've only got a couple hours sleep and it gets dark about 4, so get myself set up and then have a little snack, get my bed and that out, and then I've got 2 films downloaded. Got signal so far, should have signal down at the tarn. There's a few football matches on that I might try and catch if I can, just to kill a bit of time. Plan on having an early morning, so I'm not be going to bed too late. View's finally starting to clear up a little bit as I'm making my way down to the tarn. It's covered a little bit again now, just there, just see it, maybe it's hard to tell through the fog, but I've just seen it, so clouds kind of moving around a bit now. It's not as solid as it was. I can see a little bit further. Just past 2 guys who've come up this way rather than top ridge. They said that obviously when they were coming up, before they entered the little valley where the tarn sits, wind was crazy just as it was for me. They said it's nice and calm down here, so beyond all the cover I get from both sides of Blencathra, it's also meant to calm down heavily throughout the night, so wind shouldn't be a problem at all. Camera might pick it up now. Starting to see shores of the lake, the tarn, sorry. Looks like there's plenty of flat spots as well. I've not seen too many people camp around here, but it's reasonably sized. Be a lovely one during the summer, especially for a swim. I won't be swimming today, like. Oh, it's bad. The wind's definitely calmer here. I'm sure you can tell by actually being able to hear me. Oh, it's fully clearing up nicely now. You can see it just down there. Thinking this little spot down here to camp. You can see this side of the face where the sun isn't hitting too much. There's a little bit of snow just there, just creeping through the cloud a little bit. There's not a hell of a lot of snow about. That's the first patch I've seen while I've been climbing personally. I've seen a few on hills this further south while I was leaving Penrith. But throughout the night we're supposed to get about 2 centimetres. Like come the time I'm waking up, it's going to be maybe like 3 or 4 centimetres. Come tomorrow night it should be about 10. But the clouds properly clearing now. You can see how quickly that's moving. That's not being jump cut or anything. Like the wind, obviously I'm a little bit more sheltered here, but the wind that's blowing this cloud around is absolutely hectic. About 70 kilometres an hour. You can really clearly see that patch of snow there now. You can see just down here the camp spot, or potentially that further shore there. Sharp edge isn't quite visible. You can see it just start forming through the clouds there. It's a bit too windy to be doing that. It's forecast to be a lot better tomorrow, but it's a little bit harder of a scramble than striding edge. It's not something I think I'd want to do solo in the winter. Just come straight back up this way in the morning. Planning on leaving and quite early. And the main goal is to catch sunrise from the summit of Blencathra, which would be an absolute core memory, if you know what I mean. So this is the spot, probably the flattest part around the tarn. The wind is calm as anything. I am on the cold side of the tarn. This is where all the snow is sitting. But that couple of degrees isn't really going to make a difference. Especially not through the night. It's just where the sun hits and where it doesn't. But got my new quilt with me tonight. Can't wait to use it. I'm sick of using sleeping bags. Sick of it sticking to me and turning with me. It's horrible. So it's 2:30. So I'm here a little bit early, but you know, it's winter. It's gonna get dark in about an hour and a half. So really it's just enough time for me to chill out, get my sit pad out, you know, just sit, have a quick snack and then get myself set up. I was pretty ill prepared for this. I've not brought tea or anything like that. I've got my coffee for the morning, but I've completely forgotten to bring any tea or just something warm to sit and have on the night. So it's gonna be a boring one. You can see clouds have pretty much cleared. You got a good view of Sharp Edge. When I was coming down the hill, all this was just completely covered, but gotta chill out for a bit, get myself set up. So that's a tent all set up. It's holding pretty well against the wind. It's a pain in the arse to get up like, but one little design flaw I've noticed is this little flap does that and it doesn't stop. So hopefully the wind does calm down pretty soon, because that's going to be a pain in the arse to sleep with. So rather than getting it from the tarn, whereas obviously the likelihood of a problem is very slim, there's the stream that feeds the tarn running pretty heavy just up ahead. So I'm going to collect it from there, because the freshness of the water coming from a mini waterfall midwinter on one of England's highest mountains, about 600 odd metres up. It's going to be incredible. This all comes from obviously a natural spring further up the mountain. It'll be completely uncontaminated. Got to be the worst part of winter camping, that getting your hands freezing cold and wet. It's horrible. Time to go warm back up. So I spent the past 2 hours just running around panicking really. Literally as soon as the tent was set up, or just about set up, the wind picked up. It's been completely fine down here until I got the tent up, and then the ground was too soft to exit. Tent kept collapsing because pigs were coming out. The wind just hasn't died down yet, as I kind of expected it to. So we've got rocks on everything, extra guy outlines attached to 2 really big rocks, but this one especially just kept ripping out, so it's got a huge rock on it. This back one ripped out. They were flying off and I'm just completely unable to find it. 2 times it happened, like they just flew away, so I found 2. back one. That back one doesn't really, it's not too important anyway, so it's just not what was forecast really. The tent should stand up to it, but it's going to be a rough night, I can tell you that much now. But it's one of those situations where I think it just feels a lot worse than it really is, because you're there, you know, I'm here, what can I do now? But just gonna get in my tent, get my earphones in, watch a movie, because just try and chill out a little bit, and then cook some food, chill, watch another thing, and then go to sleep. Just hoping I can get plenty of sleep tonight. Hoping that the wind doesn't persist. It's meant to be completely calm by 9 o'clock, so I might have another like almost 5 hours of this, so we'll see. So I'm having to get off the mountain as quickly as I can. The winds, the forecast changed from stopping throughout the night to getting even worse. As I started packing away after making the hard decision to leave the mountain, above all the rocks, the extra guy out points, the tent completely collapsed on itself. The weather's meant to be fine in the morning, and I've had to leave the tent, but I intend on going back for it. But for the sake of light and my own safety, I just had to ditch it. I put rocks on top of it to stop it blowing away, but this wind doesn't seem to care about fucking rocks. So now it's just a matter of getting down this side as quickly as I possibly can. Right, I got down safely. I'd probably been down about half an hour. I'm in a bunkhouse, the White Horse down near Keswick. Really just taken out with me that experience. Extremely disappointed in the tent. Really disappointed. It was, you know, I've been in storm force winds. That was not storm force winds, yet the tent collapsed 3 times. Even, yeah, it's not like I can blame it on wet ground or anything like that. Yes, there was a bit of wet ground, but there was massive rocks on every single peg, and it just collapsed. It was pitched well. It just is not built for purpose. I'll be going up in the morning to collect it. I just needed to get off for the sake of my own health and safety. Just needed to leave it and get off the mountain. There's a kitchen here, so I'm going to go make my food. I didn't even get a chance to do that. I'm going to go sit in the pub, have a pint, chill out, and just don't buy a decathlon tent and expect it to actually live up to its claims. 70km/h winds, it claims. It meant to be 65 at the summit. So 200 meters down, protected by walls. You're trying to tell me that was over 70? Now that I'm down though, I can look at the situation like, you know, like I've conquered something. Like, that's a hell of an experience to go through. To be left somewhere in the dark and have to get down a mountain while that down a way you didn't even come. You don't really know where you're going. So I'm gonna go chill out for a bit. I'll see you when I go to bed. Porcini mushroom risotto. Made it with a kettle, not my pot, because there's a kitchen here. It's pretty good. A little bit plain, but nice. Could have done with a bit of garlic. Other than that, it's quite nice. I'd buy it again still. Morning. Oh, I'm definitely not gotten the early start I wanted. I just slept and slept and slept, but I feel incredible. Like, it's still, I just had that, you get that, you know, that feeling you get when you're wild camping. You still get it in a bunkhouse. Because, you know, I'm right at the foot of the mountain here. I'll show you when we get out. But it's like an old converted stables, so I can kind of see like the flooring up there. It's all old wooden buildings, tin roofs. Like it's like the patter of the rain all night was lovely. But we've got a pretty gnarly rain forecast, and then snow forecast higher up, predicting possibilities of whiteouts, which isn't great. But I'll get up, get my tent, and then we'll get up Blencathra and see what the situation is. If I need to make my way down straight away, I know that the route I came down today was easy. I can do that. Just means I've got to walk from Scales to somewhere I can catch a bus, but it's not a huge deal. So I'll make myself some coffee, some porridge, and then get on with the day. The climbing started. The cloud is extremely low. Got this constant rain. Clouds dropping as I climb in as well, so it's just getting worse and worse. I'm on the same path that I came down last night. I didn't actually mention it, but from the moment I decided to get off the mountain to getting down last night, it took me 40 minutes. I think when you're uncertain, to have that escape route is pretty important. Like, I didn't plan for it, which was silly considering the time of year, but thankfully it all worked out alright. It's on a really narrow path here. A pretty harsh drop off down the side, so to try me hardest not to fall. But as I'm moving further into the cloud, the rain's calming down a bit, so I'm assuming I'm going to get above it at some point, and that's when I'm going to have a bit of snow. I'm not far off now. The harsh ascent's done. See, I remember from yesterday where the harsh bits are. And after this like kind of smooth running path, the drop down to the bunkhouse was steep as out. Pretty difficult to get up, to be honest, but all my waterproofs are on, bag covers on. Let's get moving again. Well, I wasn't floating this heavy when I crossed it yesterday night. Look at that. That's stunning. Oh, look at it, man. Just approaching the tarn now. Starting to see our first signs of snow here as well. It's just a light dusting on the grass. Whatever's falling still feels like rain. There's not a lot of it, it's just a light drizzle. But got another about 200 metres to climb to the summit of Blencathra, so sure the conditions will get a little bit colder. Bring around a solid floor of snow. Fog on the tarn's too strong to see the tent yet. I'm just over there. I'll go see what condition it's in now. Here it is. In an absolute state. This rock I was threw on top to stop everything blowing away. But despite all of these rocks you can see being on pegs, every peg just gone. The extra guy line was almost just ripped, just not strong enough. But I'm going to get this packed away and then head on up to Blencathra. Packed away now. The tent probably weighs about 3 kilos. It's just absorbed all the water. And it goes to show, no matter what, leave no fucking trace. If you need to leave the mountain in emergency, come back up and get it. My gloves have pretty much wet through. Just, I should have taken them off to sort the tent out, but still warmer with them on, with them being synthetic insulation. Some work out getting it packed away, like, honestly it weighs a ton. I'm gonna make a push for the summit now. All this extra weight, the weather. In case it wasn't obvious, I'm not going up Skiddaw. I'm not doing this loop. I'm gonna push for this summit now, make my way back down, get myself into Penrith on the bus, and then from there go get some food, dry off, chill out. I've got a while till my my train home, but I'm not moving all the way around to Skiddaw and back, like, it's way too much. You can see the snow is fully formed around here. Got in a solid bit of ice and stuff on the tent. Once I reach the top of this ridge, might have to whip the micro spikes out. We'll have to see. Conditions aren't great. Visibility is very low. Let's push on. Got some sweet chili greys. Brilliant for hiking these, like. Lovely. Packed with protein, full of veg, stuff like that. Proper good. Pretty much white out now. Snow's pretty thick up here. The spikes have come out. My first time fully using them. My first proper time hiking on snow, honestly. These are excellent. Just awesome conditions. Awesome. It's the only word I can use to describe it. I haven't seen a single soul as of yet. Not surprised with this weather. The mighty Blencathra on a harsh winter's day. Some view, eh? Wow! What a fucking achievement, man. These are some conditions. What an awesome day to summit one of the most iconic peaks in the lakes. I'm not missing about now though. Time to get down. So, the wind can't make up what it's doing, but this is Blencathra. I'm not stopping, getting straight down, onto my path down. Another bit of unforecast wind. Stronger than yesterday, 100%. Mental, this wind. This is the footpath I'm meant to be crossing. I have no clue which part is meant to be footpath. It's a wet winter, very wet. Over there is my path down to the village, I believe. Got this to cross. I'm gonna have to check my map and make sure that's the way to go. I'm almost ground level. This weather's insane. Last thing I want to do is fall here. I think the best spot's going to be further down. It seems that some people have been crossing down there. Looks like the sheep use this as a passing. I'll explain the trodden path down. It's a good job my feet are mainly wet already. Otherwise I'd be pretty annoyed about ruining it that late. I think my next course of plans down here.
So here we are, just a matter of months later. It's June now, compared to February, so January in that video. And a load of stuff going on in my life, big drastic changes, moved house, just so much stuff to sort out. So finally gotten around to editing everything after putting it off for a while. But to this day, that's one hell of an experience. Just so proud and accomplished to have climbed that mountain in those conditions, to have given up and then tried again, essentially. Absolutely hell of an experience. But it's come up to summer now. Nice weather's, well, should be rolling in. It's currently about 10 degrees and raining. But hikes are coming up again soon. I'll see you guys in the next one.